games become so expensive to make that there's so much riding on them making so much money, you know?
Okay.
And I mean, games have only gone up for $10 more than they were last consoles, right? But in the last console, if you're making a game for maybe half to a third of what they're being made for now, I mean, some games are costing, $20 million. You all right? Oh, sorry. My girlfriend's yelling in the background.
Gotta love
Okay. Yeah.
She all right?
Yeah, she's fine. She has to she got this new medicine stuff for the dermatologist, and because she has rosacea, and she rubbed like some of the chemicals onto her nose, which she's been blowing all day because she has allergies, and it startled her. Sorry. What was I gonna say? Okay, I'm sorry. Well, so the thing is, if you could make all these really new inventive kinds of games, right? But if they don't sell massive amounts, then you're not going to get your return on investment. And so, I mean, it's rare that you're going to see really creative, new idea games. I mean, there's only been a few I can think of. I mean, there have been games, but it's sort of like they put a lot of money into games that are going to be new and creative, but games that they kind of know are going to sell anyway. Sort of like, they know Metal Gear Solid 4 is going to sell a lot, but there are only so many games that have taken kind of like more riskier. Like Gears of War was original, that was when it first came out.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was.
War is the most overrated video game ever.
I disagree.
All right. Well, tell me one big difference.
The whole running and gun, the hiding and gunning mechanics.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Okay. But other than that, I think that was the only thing, because there were
now everybody's using it.
There's about 5 weapons. There's about 4 different enemies, and the game's about 3 minutes long. Like the next game looks cool because it looks like they're making a longer storyline, and it looks like they're adding more to it. The first game, I don't know. I played it. Super excited. Maybe that was the biggest problem that I had with it, was that I was super excited. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is the best game ever," and I got through it. And I remember that I was fighting this one boss on the train, and this is literally the same day I started it. I'm like, "This guy's pretty hard." So being I went on the internet just for just to see, just for some help, and I'm like, "All right, where's this boss?" And I went through. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's the last boss! Are you kidding me?" So like that, I don't know. That's where I'm like, this game, and honestly, it's probably because I usually play video games by myself, so I'm used to having long storylines.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I mean, there's some games that have been doing interesting things. I think in the sense of sort of narrative and story, not necessarily doing anything creative with the gameplay. As for instance, BioShock, which I guess you could say did some interesting things with gameplay mechanics, but it had a really interesting story, and it was really interestingly executed, and that's sort of where it shined. But anyway, as I was saying before, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just, I think, because we're seeing so many first-person shooters, seeing so many things, because they're very bankable, Lots of people buy them, and there's a lot of money in them, and it's going to be a very slow progression to get sort of these more kind of unique kind of things going out, just because people don't buy the unique games as often, unless there's a lot of hype behind them, which there isn't.
Such as Nintendo Wii?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great example. I mean, people say it's not next gen, but that's solely based on the graphic capabilities. They're looking at the gameplay. And and there are a lot of publishers out there and developers that are taking the easy way out and basically porting PS2s and adding a little bit of a waggle to it, which
wiggle.
Yeah, which is stupid. But a lot of the Nintendo products, like Nintendo-owned stuff, they have more of a I don't know, commitment or imagination, I guess you could say, and are making very intuitive games, and I call that next gen. I don't call Call of Duty 4 necessarily next generation, because
I think there's basically 3 different aspects to being a next gen thing, which is improved controls, improved graphics, and improved controls in the sense of gameplay, improved graphics and improved environments.
Narrative.
Being narrative. Okay, narrative too. But I mean, the thing now, because they could do narrative in last gen. I mean, narrative isn't necessarily new. Thief Deadly Shadows had a good story, had just as good of a story as any other current game. But I mean, just the fact if you can, the fact that your environments can be 3 times as big, that you can have 5 times as many enemies on. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean that was one of the cooler things with Crysis was being able to blow up huts and
yeah, that was awesome.
Completely destructible environments
yeah.
you never saw before. It was usually if you destroyed something, it was the same exact way every time you shot the same crate. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one game I'm super excited about. I don't have the system to play it on, but I'm hoping in the next few months, anyways, they'll be able to generate enough revenue that'll be able to buy it.
No, you want profit, not revenue.
Profit, whatever. The Star Wars.
You want profit.
Yeah, Star Wars Force Unleashed. I mean that.
I don't know how I feel about that game. I'm on the fence.
Well, what I'm saying, technically speaking, that game is definitely pushing the barriers of physics. I mean, it seems three physics engines for it, and everything's supposed to react. Wood's supposed to react the way wood's supposed to react.
Yeah, I know. And actually, did you know they originally were developing that for Star Wars? They're originally developing that for an Indiana Jones game, which is never yet to be made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like started making it, and I guess they got like a third or halfway through, and then they just stopped to make the Star Wars game instead because George Lucas wanted a Star Wars game more than an Indiana Jones game. But I mean, it's still on their list to make, and I think instead they made Lego Indiana Jones, but they still haven't made the new Indiana Jones game, which is too bad because I was really actually looking forward to the Indiana Jones game more than Star Wars. But
I mean, at the same time, using the Force is a lot.
Yeah. I have high expectations, and I'm excited, but Star Wars and the last few Star Wars games have been kind of, the last Star Wars game I can think of that I really liked was Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah. Academy or whatever.
No, that was the one before. Well, Academy was good too. It was basically just a continuation of Jedi Knight 2 though, but Jedi Outcast.
Outcast, that's right.
Yeah. But that was really good, and I thought it was really original, and it had very good
lightsaber
gameplay and really good lightsaber battles in it. And I just don't feel they've ever been able to really do anything as good as that, even today. Like today's standards, if you look at the lightsaber fighting, I just don't feel the lightsaber fighting is as good as it was in that game. And that was, how long ago? Like 8 years? Yeah. Something, So I'm excited, I'm hopeful, I'm anxious, but I'm nervous because, I don't know, when I see that they're making it for, like, every system possible out there at the same time, I don't know, it just makes me... Like, they did that also with Alone in the Dark, and that turned into a crap fest,
God, yeah, and I mean, and that can hit a lot of potential, and...
Yeah.
But honestly, I saw one of the preview videos, and myself, I'm kind of like, this game kind of looks like crap.
Yeah. No, it's like one of those, I mean, you can always tell it's like, I like the ideas, but it's just like the animations they're using to put forward these ideas and the control scheme just isn't really... good, I mean, it's just kind of a crappy, and it's like it's cool, like to be able to pull out your gun and shoot people, but it's like it's a really weak animation and audio, so it sort of ruins it when it's sort of you don't have those animations up.
Well, what really sucked about it during the review, I mean, the one thing that I think it would bother me, crazy would be the fact that you have to blink.
Yeah,
I mean, who wants to do that? If I'm playing a game, yeah, sure, I want it to be realistic to a point, but not that realistic. You know what I mean?
No, I think the blinking was a good thing. It's just it was like in a weird place, the blinking controls, because it's the same thing you used to walk. So you're like walking and trying to push down the button, the you know what I mean? Yeah. The joystick at the same time.
Yeah.
It didn't really work.
I don't know. It will. I guess I don't know because the game sold really poorly and it got poor reviews. So I don't think
it got terrible reviews. But they're coming out with the PS3 version soon, and they're claiming that they're going to fix all the problems. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Another game that I didn't like was Oblivion.
I liked Oblivion. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get into it as much as Morrowind.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as epic to me, but I generally liked it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
So are you excited for a Fallout?
Fallout?
3?
No.
No?
I never played the other two, so I can't really have.
Oh. I tried playing one of them and it was kind of boring. I mean, they're like 1993 games or whatever, however old they are, or 1996 or whatever. So they're really old, and it's absolutely nothing like Fallout is basically just sort of like it's looking kind of just like Oblivion.
Yeah.
But
was it
in
made
post-apocalypse.
by the same developers or?
Yeah, same guys.
You know, I mean, that's another thing. I saw some previews